Hey, hey, everybody. Welcome back to Every Kind of I Do, where Jen here, I am talking about many weddings that I've done over my career and the inspirations inside of them and the weirdo stories, the love, all the things that make these events so special. And today I have an even more special one. This is going to be and I have to call these episodes something, so bear with me that not everything's going to be like catchy and sometimes I just want to talk about the fact that she's wearing a green dress, but it's also on the beach. So I'm going to kind of take you through this because I've had a few weddings that do green dresses. I've talked to you about the orange dresses, black dresses, white dresses. I mean, there's a variety of dresses that we've already talked about so far. But as we go along in this stream here, we're just going to like run with it, okay? So this is going to be a special wedding, and I'll let you know why in a minute. Hopefully, I put all the photos in here that I need. I don't know. But as you can see, it's a lovely couple. We have a green dress and a very, very super casual white shirt and shorts, and we're on the beach. So I'm going to start with the aesthetic here. Okay, the bride grew up in this vicinity. So automatic beachy vibes. She wanted that for the wedding day. I can completely understand why. Apparently, there was also a thing about wanting parrots. And so today I actually have on my Hawaiian shirt style with purple and all these other things, right? But today's color scheme is more of these bright sea blues, these bright teals, little pops of red, and you'll notice there's a little parrot hiding over here. And so I love how neutral the ocean looks right here, right? So the sand is very neutral. So anything standing apart from those neutral colors is gonna pop. And I even like the fact that they took a neutral bamboo looking archway and wrapped it in neutral fabric, but then pop, pop. You've got two pops of color and it's awesome. I love it. And I love me a good oceanside. Like, let's just go. Now, here's something that you don't know about this particular image too. Is that, do you see this line up here? This line that's cutting straight through the photo? That's actually a cliff drop off. So it's not like you can walk straight out to the ocean. It's actually got a big hill right here, and you can't even see it. So what a funny story is there was a person in a bright red shirt running around on the beach, like along the water. And so I had to creatively crop them out by just stooping down a little bit lower than normal. Now, mind you, they're not in the shot this time, but later on in the wedding, there's a whole bunch of people just walking up and down the beach. I mean, it's a public beach, so hello. It's lovely. I love the color tones. I'm a huge fan of blue. If you've been around me long enough, you'll see that I love the color blue. And here's what I want to show you about the wedding party in general. A lot of sea inspired colors over here. We've got some teals, we've got some blues of all varieties. We have the pastels, we have the medium tones, we have some dark tones. And then I also want to note the fact that her dress is also more of a lighter colored green up against, everything else. And so, but look over here with all the guys. All the guys have, we'll call them like printed shirts. They're Hawaiian printed shirts over here. Look at, they're all palm trees, y'all. Palm trees. Palm trees. Okay, and so then you also have the officiant, which by the way, this is my dad. This is a very unique wedding. This is kind of like a family thing I was hired for. But this is my dad officiating the wedding, and he is wearing a parrot. So you have a parrot over here, and you have a parrot. He's wearing a parrot as well. So that was a thing that they wanted for the wedding. And then they had very natural benches that they put out onto the sand, very natural space, very little that needed to be done. It was a quick setup and a quick tear down. There was nothing extra. So I wanted to share the fact that they did stay in theme with, we'll call them the sea tone colors. But they also had some fun with the print. I mean, the print of the shirts I think is super fun, which is why I wore this today. Because your beach wedding, what does it matter what it looks like? Like, if you want to wear your green dress, if you want to wear a sundress, if you want to wear a fancy dress, short dress, The only thing you'll have to think about, now this is something that I learned when I was there, is that specifically in the Florida area, I don't know each state as it goes up the coast, but specifically in Florida, there is a time of day that may be better to get married than another time of day. Like even this wedding got a little toasty warm, and that's why we kept everything short and sweet, right? It was starting to get toasty warm, even though you have this wonderful wind coming off the water. You also have a little bit of heat depending on what time of year you're getting married. And I think this was definitely more towards the summertime, but not like the dead of summer. Like here in Texas, we don't really tend to get married in the dead of summer. And if you do, it's really, really late at night, but still it's really hot. Here you've got the sun that beats down, unless you're lucky enough to have some clouds in the sky, which we know that it always changes there on the outdoor weddings. One minute you could have clouds, the next minute you could have a sprinkle of rain. Who knows, right? So anyway, I thought this was a really great setup in that it was very little to set up and then tear down, and then a nice big wedding party to celebrate. Now, I'm always going to say, hey, do you want photos in the water? Who doesn't? So we did take a few minutes to start outside the water, and then we went into the water, and then we just had a good time. We just had a good time. We celebrated their love. They're obviously smitten with each other. Matter of fact, when they walked down the aisle and made it official, he picked her up and swung her around in a circle. It was very sweet. It was very, very sweet. And I can say that because this is also my stepbrother. So yeah, we did go in the ocean. Like I'm all about this. Like if this is your thing, if you grew up in an area where you're always next to water and maybe your partner did not, as long as everybody's open for it, why don't we go have some fun? Why don't we go have some fun, get in the water a little bit? If you don't mind, like getting your dress a little bit wet, if you know you're only going to wear this maybe once, maybe twice, specifically this kind of area, this kind of vibe, this couple is very casual and she grew up in this area. So I just feel like it was very nostalgic for them to have this in their celebration. So I'm so glad we did it. So now we're going to kind of keep the bird themes going forward, right? So we're going to fly into this next, I love you showing you cakes. But here's the thing I want you to see. Like this is really neat. So not only there is the theme of birds going through this, right? But this beautiful teal color. Okay. Now, there's something that you have to remember about high humidity areas. If you do not have a cooler or a fridge, your cake may melt. Actually, it will melt. It's just a matter of time. So you can see that things are starting to drip a little bit because it's been out here for a minute. It's not been out there the whole time, but it's been out here for a minute. So you can see how things are starting to change in this cake. But you know what? Aesthetically, it looks awesome. It's got the color tones they wanted. It's got the beachy vibe. It's got kind of like an artistic notion to it. It's got three tiers, and there are branches on here. There's branches and vines. Those are obviously not real. And then you have the birds on the top, which I think are adorable. Mind you, this is also set up in little barn atmosphere where it is partially covered and sort of in the shade. So it wasn't in direct sunlight. But I just love that they carried everything on from this beachy blues vibes, rainbow of colors to the cake, which has this beautiful teal on it and this mishmash of flowers on it too. But don't forget the birds. And actually, maybe I need to go back one photo. Hold on. Because maybe you didn't catch this either, but she also has a bird in her hair. So it's basically a bird veil. It's a bird veil, y'all. It's a bird veil. And she is so happy. They're so happy. Anyway, this is the cake. This is what I would call green wedding dress, beachy vibe wedding. All right. So I hope you enjoyed this episode. I know I enjoyed wearing this very loud shirt. And let me know, are you getting married at the beach? And if so, are you keeping it simple? Are you having something big? Are you doing it at a resort? Are you doing it at a hotel? Are you just doing it at a park? I'm so curious to know how the planning is going for that. And let me know your ideas. I would love to hear your ideas. And let's talk about it. All right. So this is Jen with Every Kind of I Do. And I will see you on the next episode.